Ant-Man and the Wasp may have lightened the tone of the Marvel Cinematic Universe after the heavy proceedings of Avengers Infinity War, but in the end, the second solo film for the MCU's tiniest superhero delivered yet another gut punch to fans everywhere. Let's break down exactly what happened. The film's story ends with Paul Rudd, Scott Lang, Evangeline Lilly's Hope Van Dyne, and Michael Douglas's Hank Pym rescuing Michelle Pfeiffer's Janet Van Dyne from the quantum realm where she'd been lost since the 1980s. Janet, aka the original Wasp, emerges from that strange microverse a changed woman, now in command of some kind of mysterious powers which enable her to temporarily, at least, help Ghost keep it together. Quite literally, as that character had spent most of the film being torn apart by her own phasing powers. In the end, Ghost escapes with her surrogate dad, Bill Foster, Hank and Janet set off to build a new life with one another in a house on the beach, and Scott completes his 2 years of house arrest and can finally take his daughter out for ice cream again, except the first post-credit scene reveals that Team Ant-Man has regathered to explore the dangerous quantum realm some more. Hank and Janet have designed a smaller version of the gateway scene earlier in the film and have set it up in the back of Scott's pal Luis's van for some reason. Scott enters the quantum realm for what is supposed to be a quick trip to gather some of the energies found there in order to help Ghost with her continued healing, but when he radios back to Hank and the two Wasps that his mission accomplished and they can bring him back to the real world, he receives radio silence in return. Scott calls to his friends again, beginning to panic a bit, and there's still no response. Cut back to the rooftop where Hank, Hope, and Janet were working the gateway machinery. We see that they've now disappeared, and in their place is only ash floating away. The majority of Team Ant-Man has been snapped out of existence by Thanos, just like all those other poor souls from the end of Avengers Infinity War. Indeed, half of the universe has disappeared, and now we can add the original Ant-Man and both versions of the Wasp to the body count. Meanwhile, Scott Lang, the current Ant-Man, is trapped in the quantum realm with no apparent way to get back and help the remaining Avengers. This, of course, means that Ant-Man and the Wasp all takes place prior to the events of Infinity War, with the mid-credit scene happening right when Infinity War ends. It doesn't, however, explain why Scott and the team weren't off trying to help in the battle against Thanos. At the very least, they must have seen the attack on New York on TV, but for some reason they decided to go about their business and conduct quantum realm experiments rather than join the fight. It's almost like this is a movie. As for the second end credits scene, which comes after the credits are done rolling, it's a simple and short moment that is both funny and creepy. The camera tracks through Scott's house, where we see an emergency broadcast signal on the TV, no doubt because half the world has just disappeared, and then we see the oversized ant that had served as Scott's body double throughout the film is just playing the drums, oblivious to the horror that has unfolded. The scene then cuts to one final title screen: Ant-Man and the Wasp will return. But then a question mark appears at the end of that statement. Will they return? And how? We'll have to wait for Avengers 4 to find out. For even more on Ant-Man and the Wasp, be sure to check out our WTF questions or watch the cast respond to IGN comments. You guys are always nice, aren't you? And for all your MCU needs, be sure to like and subscribe to IGN on your platform of choice.